Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new Sideshow Collectibles Masters of the Universe Premium Format He-Man statue. For the package, again, really large package, but this one now goes more vertical as opposed to Skeletor's, which was horizontal. But much like Skeletor's, you got a really cool image of He-Man kind of through a window that absolutely looks terrific. Come around to the side, and that wall kind of carries over. And then you come to the back of it, and you have a more full-scale image of He-Man. And I absolutely love how they got the electricity coming down, just showing off the amazing power that the Power Sword kind of gives off. You got that same, electricity kind of going up there. And then much like that Skeletor figure, on the inside, He-Man is very nicely protected by some seriously heavy-duty foam. That does a terrific job of protecting the figure, regardless of what might actually happen to the box. I mean, you can kind of see down here, it got a little bit dinged up, which things like that do happen in shipping. But that foam really does protect the contents of it to ensure that when you get yours, he'll be in perfect condition. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. And again, this guy looks absolutely terrific. Amazing amount of detail throughout the entire thing. And let's be honest, you cannot have Skeletor without having He-Man. And this guy here looks terrific with him. Now, much like that Skeletor figure, He-Man here does come in an exclusive version as well. I got just the regular one, and I'm honestly perfectly happy with it. The exclusive one comes with a separate hand here, which actually has him holding his battle axe, which is all well and good, but I mean, it's He-Man. He has to have the Power Sword there. Now, if you get that exclusive version, because obviously he's going to be holding the battle axe, the back section here with the sheath actually has the Power Sword inside of it. So it kind of completes that look, because obviously you're not going to be having him holding the Power Sword and the battle axe at the same time. Much like Skeletor, he does come in a couple different pieces, so taking him off and setting him off to the side for right now to focus on the base, the level of detail on this as well is as good as you would expect. Kind of simulating how it would look in Castle Grayskull. You have all these different teeth, which absolutely look amazing. You can see some great paint variation throughout the entire thing. There's a little bit of a greenish tone in it, which you would expect. And then you have the nice kind of cement section around the bottom here. Great textural details. And then you look at the actual teeth and you can see all these cracks, and it's actually sculpted like that. But then there's some great shading in there to give a real sense of depth. Just absolutely terrific. And then taking a look at the actual base, you can see you got a giant crack right here and then a real nice floor design. Again, absolutely looking like a medieval castle would. On the bottom section, you can see that these are limited. This one is number 221 out of 2,500. You got the Masters of the Universe logo as well as He-Man. And then on the sides here, you got little foam pads that nicely protect it. So great detail on just the base. And then coming in to take a closer look at the He-Man statue itself. Again, great, amazing detail. Very strong, very stern look in that face. You got his very nice flowing blonde hair. I even love how they got his eyes this nice blue paint. That looks terrific. I love the battle armor that he has on him. This is all molded into it. It's not a separate piece or anything, but great detail. I love the glossy nature in this. So as you move it around, it captures the light very nicely. You come around here, it's got a gorgeous shoulder armor done in this skull kind of look. Really very wicked looking. Now come around here to the back of him. Again, great definition in the musculature, some nice shading, every aspect. I mean, even you come down here, and because he's twisted, he's got this little wrinkle down here, which looks amazing. You got the nice, very iconic loincloth. This is a little bit softer of a material. Obviously, it's not posable or anything, so it doesn't really matter, but I thought that was an interesting choice. You can also see some slight paint differences. You got a little bit more red here, whereas this is more brown, and then each of these little rivets have this nice gold paint. I love the detail here with his belt section. You got that eagle look, which is, or falcon, I should say, because as you remember, the sorceress transformed into that, and you got that down here on his shin pads as well. That really gorgeous Falcon look. Great detail on that. I mean, that's really quite impressive. Come around to the back. And of course, he's got the little furry boot sections, but great detail on the boot themselves. You can see some nice paint variation. You got some nice silver paint on the buckles. Gorgeous detail throughout the entire thing. Yes, I think I did show up his loincloth, but absolutely stunning looking. I didn't show this, but great paint detail on here with the gold and the bronze, and that's really sharp. And then again, all you to do is you got the little section here on the base. You just bring this around, find that little hole, plop that down, and there you have the beginnings of his actual assembly. Now, in his other arm, you also do have him holding a shield. This is made out of plastic, but you can see some great detail in the hands and the handle. You got a nice leather strap that comes around here. Great paint detail on the wrist guards themselves. This is made out of plastic, but still absolutely gorgeous looking detail. You got some nice textural detail with some dirt and everything on the inside here. And again, really nice glossy paint, allowing you to get a nice reflection kind of going on here. You come around to the side, you got this arm right here that again just magnetically locks in, and boom, there's that, and he's looking nice and armored up. Now, much like Skeletor, he does come with a cape, except for me, I can't figure out how to put it on. I looked at the images online, and it's like it goes around his arms here and kind of latches in, but then you got this section right here which doesn't have any clasps or anything, so it's like you don't go like that. But to be totally honest, and as good as this looks, and I mean, looking at it, maybe get it the right way, because apparently I had the cape on, the Skeletor on the wrong way. Putting this on here, I mean, it does have a cool look to it, just kind of giving you that kind of appearance. A great dirt down here on the bottom. You got it very nicely tattered and frayed, much like that Skeletor one, and much like Skeletor's, I didn't iron it, so this is just cloth, so it would be a little bit easier to iron. But for me, I think he looks better without the cape. I mean, Skeletor just seems to be evil and would be wearing a cape. He-Man in the original cartoon didn't really wear a cape. That didn't come around until the original live-action movie, in terms of popular appearances for him. But I think he looks better without it, honestly. Now, like I said, if you do get the exclusive version, this is the sheath with no sword in it. And again, you got a little peg right here that just magnetically attaches right there to the middle. If you get the exclusive version, it will have a power sword attached to it, but obviously, because I don't have the exclusive version, the power sword is right here, and again, this is absolutely gorgeous. Very nice coloring throughout the entire thing. You got some little details put in there. You got that little orange bit right there, but you got the little bronze color. I love the molded detail throughout the rest of the sword, and you can see that he's just holding it in his hand. Now this is actually made out of metal. If you get the exclusive version, the battle axe is also made out of metal. That's really very nice. Now, again, if you get that battle axe version, this is going to be the inside here. But what you do with this, you come around, you got the hand, and you just plug it in just like so. And that absolutely looks heroic. One minor thing that I do wish was a little bit different. As you can see, when he's holding it, it's kind of off on an angle like this, which isn't necessarily bad, but when I think of He-Man, I think of it more twisted around, so more like this, as if he's actually summoning the power of Grayskull. As it is, when you put it in, it comes down a lot more, so I do kind of wish that the wrist was on a bit more of an angle, more along like this line, which you really can't do. So that would be one minor thing for me. And it actually, I mean, when you put it in there, it actually can sit a little bit higher. I mean, you can see that's about a ½ an inch range of motion. But because of the heft of it, it does bring it down. So, I mean, I don't necessarily even think that if you had it all the way up in the range that it can actually make, if that would make me happy. I do think that it would look a little bit better if it was more along those lines. That's just a personal preference on my part. I still think that everything else on it looks amazing. However, it is something that I think collectors of He-Man would kind of prefer as well. But just absolutely spectacular looking piece. And of course, no review would be complete if I did not show this off next to his evil arch enemy, none other than Skeletor. And I mean, seriously, how cool does this look? This is it. Good versus evil, yin versus yang, He-Man versus Skeletor. I just keep staring at this and I cannot get over how cool it really looks. Both of these pieces have an amazing amount of detail, absolutely fantastic sculpting work, terrific paint variation, and just in general have an absolute awesome look to them, especially when you have them side by side. Now, He-Man as well as Skeletor are both available right now at Sideshow Collectibles. And really, if you can afford to get both, that is the way that I would go. For me personally, I think I like Skeletor a little bit more, but if you're a collector of He-Man and you can really only afford to get one, obviously, this is the piece that I would pick up. Either way, you cannot go wrong. In my opinion, much like Skeletor's, this is the best looking representation of He-Man that we have ever gotten. And I honestly cannot recommend this enough to Masters of the Universe fans. So if He-Man here is a statue that you'd like to add to your collection, he is available, as I said, at Sideshow Collectibles. So all you have to do for that is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Sideshow where you can check out availability on this, as well as the rest of their wide range of premium format statues. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that if you like this video, to please smash that thumbs up button. It goes a long way towards helping me out, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you never miss out on a future review of mine. Or if you're already subscribed, make sure you click on that little bell right below this video, and double check your settings to make sure that they're set so that you get those email notifications. And as always, until next time, be excellent to each other.